Layla. When the flowers bloom in spring, let's go to the park together. Those were the last words I heard from my parents, said with a weak smile on my tired face. The promise I made to them turned into their final words, and spring never came again. I became a child left alone in the world, forced to move from one relative's house to another. It was nothing but suffering. You have to do what we say if you want to stay here.
No.
I don't want that. Let me go. Then leave. My aunt's children treated me horribly, as if they would kill me at any chance. I don't care if you're family. I'll send you to an orphanage. Why should we take care of a girl who is abandoned by her own mother? I was dragged into the house, injured, and faced an immediate punch from my uncle.
It's all because of that bastard.
I've had nothing but bad luck since she came into this house. His brutal abuse continued, especially when he lost money at the gambling tables and no one could stop it. Please stop. Are you trying to kill her? I'll let you go this time. I was living in hell. But what could a child with nowhere to go do? Life, however, had a way of bringing even worse things like snow falling overnight. And I'll stay silent. I won't bother you. I'll do everything you ask. Please don't abandon me, please. Enough, Layla. Go find another relative and ask them if you can stay with them. And anywhere is better than here, right?
Goodbye.
Once again, I was left on the road during the coldest days of winter. I visited another relative's house, but it was no different. You're a girl. You're worthless. You'll only cost me money. What did you do to get kicked out? I don't want a girl like you here. How do you expect us to take care of you? Even if you're quiet, it won't matter. No one was willing to take care of an orphan child. Maybe it's normal. Layla, do you know where Berg is? Yes. Go there and find this person. I boarded the train from Lovita to Berg, carrying hope and a name on a piece of paper. At Berg Karlsbar station, I wondered, would I be able to find him? What if I couldn't? I couldn't go back to Lovita. Let's not think about that. This was the city where my father was born. Thanks to that, I could speak with the Berg accent. There was a time when there was harmony. Wow, my daughter is a genius. If you don't know the way, just ask. You'll be fine. Don't worry. I walked the streets, looking for someone to help me. Hello, Mr. Postman. I need directions to this location. I know him well. I'm delivering something to his mansion. You can come with me? Unexpected luck. Thank you. The mansion where the Duke lived looked like something from a fairy tale. I wondered about the gardener, Bill Lemmer, who worked there. What kind of person was he? Would he accept me? Get ready, Layla. Be polite and smile. Excuse me, are you Bill Lemmer? Yes, I am. I took a deep breath. Hello, Mr. Lemmer. I'm Layla Lulin from Lovita. Lovita? That explains your accent. So, you crossed the borders? Yes. By train. Why are you looking for me? I was nervous, but I had to explain. I'm looking for you because of a letter. I have something for you. A letter? From Lovita. The letter explained everything. It said that my mother left me long ago after an affair, my father became an alcoholic and passed away, and my relatives were too poor to take me in. They had sent me to him because he was the only one who could care for me. I haven't seen her father in over 20 years. Why should I take care of her now? But you're the only one who can. You want me to raise a child I barely know? The letter was clear. If he couldn't take me in, I was to be sent to an orphanage. I stood there, helpless. Is that all she wears? Doesn't she feel cold? She's so thin. She must not have eaten much. Uncle Bill Lemmer looked at me, clearly unsure what to do. I'm not that young. I'll be 12 in a week. I can read and help if you need me. First, you need to eat before worrying about anything else. I ate what was offered, knowing it was the first decent meal in a long time. Are you not scared? He asked.
No.
You don't shout at me or hit me, and you give me food. Thank you. He seemed to be thinking deeply. Have you really been living in such a way that you're thankful for this? I had no choice but to be thankful. I just wanted to survive. But Uncle Bill was clearly struggling with the decision. Where was I supposed to go? What was he supposed to do with me? Did you sleep well, Mr. Bill?
Yes.
Should I take the dishes to the table? Thanks for the meal. Now you should eat more.
Yes.
I should eat more. Did you hear the news? Bill Lemmer is raising a girl. What? Mr. Lemmer? Raising a girl? That's impossible. It's more likely he's raising an elephant or a lion. I'm serious. Didn't I tell you it's a girl? It's a bit strange. Mr. Lemmer has lived alone since his wife passed away. Do you think he had children? Didn't they say his wife couldn't have kids? I'm sure he's heard the rumors. How could a man like him raise a girl? Who knows? Maybe he's surprisingly good at it. He's naturally talented at growing flowers and is the best gardener, even recognized by the great lady of the family. Could he be raising that girl with his skills? Phew, flowers and children are not the same. But maybe he's good at it. Considering the rumors, things could get messy, and that makes me a bit nervous. It seems the rumors were true. Look over there. Really? Where? Oh my God. Is she a real girl? Wow, that little girl has blonde hair.
How old is she?
Look how she's walking behind him. How did such a young girl end up with Bill Lemmers? The strange story of Layla Lulin, the orphan, quickly spread among the mansion's employees. Hello. I brought some flowers for you. Thank you. You said your name is Layla, right? Take these cookies. Can I really take them? Of course. I hope you enjoy them.
Thank you.
See you later. That girl, she's an orphan, right? No one knew what Bill would do with her. Whenever people asked about the girl, Bill gave the same answer. I'm thinking about it. I can't keep her here, so I have to figure something out. He was hoping to find a solution with the arrival of spring, but it became very familiar to see Layla helping out while following Bill around. The Herbert family employees who observed them both came to a conclusion. Bill Lemmer, the mansion's gardener, was a man who could only take care of flowers. What's this? Cookies and bread. There was a tea party yesterday. I don't like sweet things. So what? These are for Layla. Everyone's been using Layla as an excuse to visit my house. Someone brought her clothes, my sisters, but it's almost new. Someone else brought her books, and there were even people who came just to see her for no reason. Sometimes, it's a bit troublesome. That's because Layla is so beautiful. She's kind and polite. Isn't that why everyone cares about her? It's adorable to see her running through the forests and gardens like a little squirrel. And it's been a long time since there was joy in the Duke's territory. Remember? Our little Duke was just like her when he was young. Oh my God.
Wait.
Mr. Lemmer. What is she doing? Look. She's climbing a tree. Someone taught her that it's useful to know how to climb trees. What? Who taught her that? Bill Lemmers. What did you teach that girl? I'm raising her well. What's the problem? She's a girl. You should raise her like a delicate flower. It can't be. Don't tell me you're trying to make that sweet girl grow up to be like you. Hello. How have you been? The weather is very nice. That's terrible. Annoying me. She'll be fine as long as she sleeps well and stays healthy. You shouldn't have said that. By the way, have you decided yet? About what? About Layla. It's already summer. Haven't you decided where you're sending her? As Bill Lemmer's worries deepened, summer arrived with its beautiful weather. The girl grew up surrounded by his warm care. She loved listening to the birds in the beautiful Arvis forest. As she grew, the forest around her changed daily. The plants were filled with delicious fruits, and the animals expanded their territories, following the warm winds. Many new lives were born each day. When Layla looked at the light breaking the surface of the Schult River, she felt a sense of freedom. It seemed like the nightmares in Lovita had disappeared. Layla sat in her favorite tree and wrote down everything she saw and felt throughout the day, so she could open her notebook every day while waiting for the future. She didn't want to forget her memories, even if her life became hell again. I'm back. Sir, where are you going? We need to go somewhere, so go get ready. Sir, you shouldn't look so serious. We're just going to town to buy some clothes. Clothes? The Duke will be back soon, so it would be strange if you greeted him dressed like that. Sir, is that the owner of this territory?
Yes.
Now that the season is ending, he's returning to the mansion. He spends his summer vacations in Arvis. Vacations. So, does the Duke go to school? Even the Duke can't avoid school, even at the age of 18. 18 years old? The Duke. Did that surprise you? Do you want me to tell you something even more astonishing? He became the Duke when he was your age. What? When he was my age. Welcome, Duke. I'll take you to the mansion. A carriage? Yes, master. She worries too much about you. I know. She still believes that cars are dangerous pieces of metal. I'm sorry, master. Next time. No, it's not bad to try something classic after so long. Let's go. Yes, master. I have a few things to report, young master. While you were in Arvis, the board of directors met to discuss the schedule for social gatherings and trade ship insurance. You can't make any more mistakes today, understand? Everyone, you have to do well in preparing.
Yes.
Is everyone nervous? Is it because it's the day the Duke is coming? Layla, I see you bought a new dress. Are you going to greet the Duke? Yes, Uncle Bill bought it for me. The Duke has arrived. Welcome, Matthias. Yes, grandmother. Are you okay? Of course, mother. You've grown taller, son. Let's go inside. We've prepared a meal. Uncle Bill, won't we greet the Duke? I suppose we have to greet him next time. Yes, Uncle Bill. Are you sad? Just a bit, because you already bought me this new dress. The Duke visits the forest often, so we can ask for permission next time. Does the Duke like the forest too? Well, sure he does. The Duke likes hunting. Hunting? In the forest? Well, it's natural since the forest on this estate is the family's hunting ground. So, you hunt birds? The Duke probably likes hunting birds. You'll be amazed when you see his shooting skills. He's still young but an amazing marksman. Why would he hunt birds? Even if he doesn't hunt, there's already plenty of food in the mansion. Hunting is a fun activity for nobles. Of all interesting targets, birds are the most fun. Layla, I hope the Duke doesn't like hunting. Goodness, I said things I shouldn't say to a girl at this age. Do you think it's possible? A week later, the sound of something hatching. It's finally hatched. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kaya, so cute. You all are hungry, aren't you? Wait a bit. Your mom will come back soon to feed you. Mommy, are you going somewhere? Yes, Layla, I'm going very far away. Then, will you be late? Yes, very late. You'll come home before I eat all of these, right? Yes, I will. It's the birds, Mommy. I have to avoid them. She'll be on alert if I stay here. All 5 baby birds hatched safely and their fur grew fluffy. After 2 weeks, the baby birds would have to leave the nest. Would they be flying soon? Layla decided to tell Uncle Bill about this. Who is that? Should I go down first? No, he must pass first. Layla waited for him to pass. What? Layla. Layla Llewellyn. What's wrong? Uncle, I met someone in the forest. He was a tall man. He had black hair, blue eyes, and a voice like a waterfowl's feathers. And he was holding a gun. But then other people came and... No doubt about it. You must have met Duke Herhard, who was hunting in the woods. Didn't I tell you before? You'll meet the Duke often in the forest. Did you greet him properly? Greet him. Layla Llewellyn. That person is the Duke.
Kayak.
The sound of a gunshot. Hunting. Does he hunt birds too? Maybe the Duke likes hunting birds the most. He's still young, but he's an amazing marksman. You'll be amazed when you see his shooting skills. Well, kiddo, let's go home. Layla. Matthias von Herhard is the heir to a prestigious family, second only to the king. He possesses the qualities of a high aristocrat, admired for his dignified and elegant demeanor. Everyone praises him as the masterpiece of the Herhard family, and he is loved and respected by those around him. However, there is one person on his estate who thinks differently, Layla Llewellyn. One day, while Matthias was hunting in the woods, countless birds lost their lives in just a single day. To him, the smaller the bird, the more challenging it was to hit, making them an interesting target. He didn't even bother to look at the birds after they fell, leaving them covered in blood. Recently, A mother chickadee, who had been feeding her chicks daily, died, and her weak chicks perished before they could even fly. Layla, who had been burying the dead birds for the past month while the Duke was in the forest, decided to give him a nickname, the Slayer of Beautiful Birds. Of course, this was just Layla's perspective. Layla found herself alone again that day, as Uncle Bill was working in a hot place. She had wanted to help him, but he always told her to rest. "Layla, if you say you'll follow me one more time, I'm really going to get angry," he had said. "Uncle Bill, I hate kids who don't listen. You understand? Come down when I call you later. Eat peaches if you're hungry," he added. While Layla was resting, a boy approached her. He asked, "You live here?" Surprised by his question, Layla replied, "Yeah." "With Uncle Bill." The boy explained that he was there with his father, who was the family's doctor, and that they had come to examine Dowager Herhard. "How old are you?" he asked. 12, Layla answered. "Same as me," the boy exclaimed. "But you're really small." Layla protested. "I'm not small. I'm the tallest in my class." The boy laughed. "Still, you're small compared to Uncle Bill." "Hey, is there any kid taller than that, uncles?" Layla asked, amused. "I don't know," the boy replied. "If you're small, you're small." Layla laughed as they sat under the shade of a tree, and she noticed something strange. The boy had a knife. How cold, she thought, but he quickly explained that Uncle Bill had given it to him. "Do you want peaches?" Layla asked. "Yeah," the boy replied. Layla handed him a peach, and as he ate, she sensed he seemed a bit sad. "Something happened?" she asked. The boy responded, "The Duke and his friends keep hunting birds. They kill them for fun." Layla frowned. "Isn't hunting always like that?"
The boy shook his head. "No.
"I don't think like that. I feel sorry for the animals. Imagine how they feel. Sad and in pain." Layla was surprised. "I thought he was kind of weird, but I guess he's a good guy," she said, feeling relieved. "Do you want another peach?" she asked. "Yes," he replied eagerly. "This peach is so sweet and delicious," the boy said. "I picked it from the forest." "Kyle, time to go home," his mother called from a distance. "Yes, Mom," Kyle replied, standing up to leave. As Kyle walked away, he introduced himself. "Kyle Ettman. That's my name. And yours?" "Layla Llewellyn," Layla answered. "It's nice to meet you, Layla. Let's play again later," Kyle said with a smile. Layla hesitated for a moment. "Will we see each other again?" she wondered. Kyle called back, "I'll bring you something delicious next time." Layla watched him go, feeling a bit conflicted. "I might leave this place soon anyway, but it's better not to tell him," she thought to herself. Later, Uncle Bill asked, "Who is that child, Kyle?" Layla explained, "He lives in the gardener's house. He's the same age as me." "Is that so?" Uncle Bill replied, clearly intrigued. "Layla," Uncle Bill called out. "Be careful, you'll fall down." "Are you finished?" he asked. "Yes, I'm done," Layla replied. "Aren't you hungry?" "I ate peaches earlier, so I'm good." "Oh, I met a kid earlier. He's the same age as me."
It was cool, she said.
"How did all of your shots hit?" Uncle Bill asked. "It's hard to chase small birds, even with my eyes wide open," Layla answered. The conversation was interrupted as a man, Mr. Remmer, greeted. "Greetings, Your Grace." "It's been a while, Mr. Remmer," the Duke replied. "I apologize for speaking out of turn, but I'd like to request that this child stay in Arvis for a while. I've already asked the two duchesses for permission, but I felt it was disrespectful not to inform you." The Duke turned to Layla and said, "Aren't you the child who stays near the woods? The one who was hiding behind the trees?" Layla, who had been burying dead birds earlier, remembered the incident. "Yes, I'm that girl who almost got shot, the one they mistook for a bird." The Duke's response was nonchalant. "That's up to you, Mr. Remmer." "Thank you, Your Grace," Mr. Remmer said as he nodded and turned to Layla. "Let's go home, Layla." "Yes, Uncle Bill," Layla replied, relieved to leave. Later, in a different part of the estate, Claudine, a young noblewoman, sighed in frustration. "It's so lonely and boring here." Her companion suggested, "Then go with the boys. Have fun with them. They treat me like I'm not even there." All they talk about is stuff I don't understand, Claudine complained. That does sound boring, especially since you don't have any friends your age, her companion noted. Claudine, feeling misunderstood, sighed again. See, even Madame Herhard agrees with me. I have to hold it in, Claudine said. But who is that child? I think she's about the same age as me. Can I play with hers? Claudine asked eagerly. I'm not sure. I think she's an orphan from abroad. She probably won't be able to be your playmate, her companion replied. I'm okay with that, Miss Herhard, Claudine insisted. It'll be more fun to play with her than with a dog. Fine, bring that child here, the companion ordered. Moments later, Mr. Remmer arrived with Layla. Here she is, Your Grace. Claudine was surprised to see the girl up close. She's really beautiful. What an adorable child. Claudine turned to her mother and said, Do you like her? Yes, I like her, Claudine replied, though it felt like a hollow question. Layla, feeling out of place, was soon led away by a maid. She was washed in a luxurious bathroom and dressed in soft, white clothes. The touch of the maid's hands was rough and uncomfortable, but Layla endured it. She felt she had no choice, knowing that if she made any mistakes, Uncle Bill could get into trouble. Lady Claudine is Count Brant's daughter, the maid warned Layla. Don't act recklessly in front of her. Keep that in mind. Yes, Layla muttered, uncertain of what was expected of her. When she entered the room, she was greeted with, Hello, come in. The room felt stiff and unwelcoming, and soon, the maids began to make their demands. Layla could feel the weight of the strange world she had been thrust into, and it was only beginning to sink in. What is your name? How old are you? The lady asked. My name is Layla Llewellyn, milady. I am 12 years old, Layla answered. Really? I thought you were younger, since you're so small, the lady remarked, clearly unimpressed. For the second time that day, Layla had to force herself to endure the comment. Think of Mr. Bill, she told herself. Do you know how to play the piano? The lady asked. Yes? No. Layla hesitated. It's the first time I've ever seen a piano. Then do you know this song? The lady continued, pointing at the keys. Do you? Layla responded, unsure. No, milady, Layla replied, feeling more out of place. Then forget the music, the lady said dismissively. Do you know how to arrange flowers? No, Layla answered quietly. How about dice? Card games? I've never tried either, Layla said, feeling even more embarrassed. Then you probably don't know how to play chess either, the lady observed with a sneer. Yes, milady. How pitiful, Layla said softly, feeling defeated. You're really just a kid who doesn't know anything, the lady scoffed. I thought you'd be fun, but I waited all in vain. You're no better than. Layla interrupted, saying, I want to go back home, to Mr. Bill's house. She paused, unsure. Should I wait? She might come back. Is that the right thing to do? She wondered to herself. The maid approached and handed her a dress. The young miss said you can keep this dress. And this too, take it. It's the polite thing to do when a noble gives you a gift. Understood? Layla nodded, unsure how to react. Let's not think about it. Put on a brave face and go home. As she walked back, her mind felt a mixture of frustration and confusion. Suddenly, her thoughts were interrupted by the sight of the Duke of Herhard. His cold, piercing eyes focused on Layla like she was an insignificant being to be crushed. He sneered, his red lips curling up in disdain. But as the realization hit him, the sharp pain throughout his body seemed to fade. The words Lady Brant had spoken echoed in his mind. She's no better than a puppy. The sting of those words cut deep. Meanwhile, as Layla ran through the forest, fighting back tears, she finally reached the warm light of the house. It was only then that she realized what she had been feeling. It was sadness. It was sadness. Layla decided to stay home. Yes, I'm going to stay at home, Uncle Bill, she said quietly. All right, I understand, he replied. 2 days had passed, and she had been so down lately, locking herself in her room. Was the house always this quiet? Uncle Bill wondered as he looked around. Here, Uncle Bill. Lady Claudine gave this to me, Layla said, handing him something. When Uncle Bill saw Layla return home looking like she had been running away from something, he thought she might have been doing chores that caused her injuries. He had pretended not to ask, afraid of making her cry. These bastards. Uncle Bill muttered, his frustration growing. Layla, he said, giving her some money. You earned this. Just take it. Excuse me? I earned this money, Layla asked, confused. That's right. It's money from the work you did. You handled an aristocrat who was bored. It was an amazing job, so you did really well, Uncle Bill explained. You can accept it proudly. That's the proper way. Layla hesitated. Is that so? Of course. Congratulations for entering the adult world, Layla. Layla was still unsure. But Uncle Bill, aren't I still too young for that? If you can make a living on your own, you're an adult, Uncle Bill said. You did a good job, Layla. Of course, but…
Why?
Did anyone bully you because you're small? He asked. It's not like that, Layla responded, but I think I look too small. That's because you're really still a child, he teased, but then he smiled. Do you want some apple juice? Yes, she replied, brightening up. But Uncle Bill, won't it be useless if I don't use the money I earned? Of course it is. I guess there's something you want. I want to buy a notebook. The one I had is already full. Sure, can I buy some colored pencils? She asked. As many as you want, he replied with a grin. Is there anything you want to buy for yourself, Uncle Bill? Layla asked.
Why?
You're going to buy something for me too? Yes, Layla said excitedly. What if I ask you to buy something ridiculously expensive? He joked. Then I'll earn more money and buy it for you, she replied with a laugh. Uncle Bill smiled. I'll look forward to it. Layla's bright and cheerful nature warmed his heart. What a lovely child. She might be small, but she'll grow up to be a beautiful lady. But then he worried. Wait, isn't beauty like poison for a woman in difficult circumstances? His thoughts were troubled, and his head began to throb. If you wander around with nowhere to go, it's easy to get into trouble. I have to send her somewhere I trust, he thought, frustrated. But then he realized there was no place he truly trusted. What a shitty, bloody world. Damn those humans. Do you want another drink? Layla asked, noticing his mood. Yes, he replied, his thoughts still lingering on the future. Am I going to see her grow up to be a drinker? He wondered, but quickly dismissed the thought. No, she came here only for a while, just for a while. Days passed, but Uncle Bill continued to think about his situation. I'll get going soon. I can't raise Layla myself. I need to find the right place for her. The lovely troublemaker who had suddenly entered his life was growing up, and Layla, who had once been small and unsure, was blooming into a radiant young woman. The newly bought clothes Layla wore had become crinkled, and the room, once a temporary storage, had transformed into a cozy, feminine space. Uncle Bill still remembered seeing her running down the path, her energy and spirit so alive. Soon, Layla was 18, pretty and fresh, just like the roses he had carefully tended. Uncle Bill, Layla called out one day. I came back early today. She was still the same, in Arvis and still together with Bill Remmer. Uncle Bill, please look at this, Layla exclaimed, excitedly showing him something. What is all that? He asked. It's raspberries. It's a great harvest, isn't it? She replied, grinning. I'm going to pick more tomorrow and make raspberry jam. All of this. Uncle Bill raised an eyebrow. Are you planning to do a jam business? That wouldn't be a bad idea, Layla said with a smile. I also picked some peaches. Would you like one? Sure, give me one, he said, taking a piece. Seeing the peaches, Uncle Bill remarked, I guess it's summer again. Yes, you're right, Layla agreed, looking out at the garden. Summer again. Uncle Bill thought for a moment. I'm in big trouble. The exam is coming soon. My eyesight's been getting worse lately. If I can save a little more money, I think I can get some glasses. 20 bottles of raspberry jam. No, maybe 30 bottles. Should I make all the raspberries into jam? Layla pondered aloud. If you sell them all, you'll surely make a lot of money, Uncle Bill said. I'm going early tomorrow to pick more raspberries. Layla cheered, heading out. Later that evening, Uncle Bill found Layla still awake. "Why aren't you sleeping yet?" he asked. "I'm going to study a bit more before I sleep," Layla replied. "You're working hard. Don't overdo it. Go to bed early," he advised. "Yes, Uncle Bill. Have a good night's sleep," she said as he left. A long time ago, when Uncle Bill decided to send Layla to school, many people had opposed it. They said there was no point in sending an orphan child to school. They suggested she could stay home and either marry into a proper family or work as a maid in the duchy. But Uncle Bill ignored their objections and sent her to school anyway. "Don't worry, Layla," he had told her back then. While walking behind him to school, Layla learned more about the world. Every day, she discovered new things that filled her with happiness and curiosity. "Uncle Bill, I learned this today at school," Layla said excitedly one day. "Yes, yes," he replied, always looking at her with fondness. "Layla, you're going to be an outstanding adult." "An outstanding adult," Layla repeated, liking the sound of it. It felt like a spell. That night, as she lay in bed, she imagined herself as an outstanding adult, hoping to prove to Uncle Bill that she could become one. Growing up to be an outstanding adult would be the first way she could repay him for all he had done for her. She also thought about the summer vacation coming soon. He'll be back this summer? Duke her hard. The Duke who graduated from college and became an army officer, following his family tradition. He hasn't visited Arvis since the summer 2 years ago, and now he's coming back after serving on the overseas front lines. Soon, the sound of gunshots will echo in the woods again. "What are you going to do for vacation?" someone asked Layla at school. "I decided to go on a trip with my family," the girl replied. As they continued talking, Layla said, "I haven't decided yet. I'm still thinking about it." "Look, there he is again," someone pointed out. Layla squinted, trying to focus as her eyesight had worsened. "Kyle? Kyle," she called out, surprised. "Layla!" Kyle shouted, waving as he approached her. He had skipped tennis practice just to walk home with Layla. "Why did you come here?" Layla asked, smiling but a bit puzzled. "It would be more comfortable if you came to our house later," she added, suggesting they head to her cottage.
Kyle laughed.
"Well, I just felt like it. I was passing by and thought I'd stop. Tell that bastard Kyle to come to the club tomorrow," someone from the tennis club grumbled, hearing about his absence. "Right," they all agreed, planning to kick him out if he didn't show up. Meanwhile, Kyle and Layla continued their walk. "Do you want to eat ice cream? Your favorite vanillas?" Kyle offered. "Sure," Layla replied happily. They passed a bookstore and Kyle mentioned, "There's a book I've wanted to check out. Let's stop by on the way." "Okay," Layla agreed. Kyle smiled, enjoying the time spent with her. "During this golden time of being with you, I'm thinking about what to write. I want to document the birds that are coming back during the vacation." Layla smiled at his enthusiasm. "You really do love birds." Kyle paused, looking at her. "Should I confess today?" he thought to himself. "Should I confess today? Should I tell her that I like her? Kyle, is there something you want to tell me?"
Huh. No.
"Did you pick all the books? Aren't you looking for anything else?" "Yeah, I was just planning to buy this one book."
Let's go home now. Not yet.
It's not the right time. I'm unsure of Layla's feelings towards me, and if I confess too soon, it might make her uncomfortable. I don't want that. We've been friends for a long time. I get impatient when I see how beautiful Layla is becoming, but I want to be patient and enjoy seeing her smile for a long time. And honestly, I wonder if we need to start as lovers. We've known each other for so long, maybe we can just be a couple now, like husband and wife, more comfortable with each other. My grades aren't bad in most subjects, but geometry is where I struggle. But I want to love her more than anyone else. Maybe after we graduate, we could get married right away. I can already imagine Layla in a wedding dress. No bride could be more beautiful than her. I love the idea. Kyle Ettman's wife, Layla Ettman. I love it. Kyle, why are you laughing? Is it funny that I failed my geometry test? Of course, you wouldn't understand, because you do well in geometry, right? Wait, Layla. I was thinking about something else. Hey, wait for me. By the way, did you hear the news? What news? Duke Herhard is coming back soon. Hasn't it been almost 2 years? I don't know, but I think the mansion is in chaos with his return. How are you not interested? Because I don't want to see him. Ever since that day, I've felt uneasy whenever I think of him. It was Lady Claudine who brought me to the mansion and left me alone with a bit of money. But it was the Duke who made me feel worthless. That memory still haunts me, and every time I see him, it comes back. So, I avoid him as much as possible. When Lady Claudine visited, I even bowed my head deeper to keep out of his sight. I hate him. He keeps reminding me of the wounds I wanted to forget. Layla, should I become an officer too? An officer? Like Duke Herhard. Get a medal. Be an ace marksman, shooting at the heart of enemies. Captain Etman, doesn't that sound cool? Kyle, did you forget? You can't even kill a chicken. Why do you always bring that up? Layla loves birds and doesn't mind if people kill chickens, but hates it when they kill birds. It was last year when it happened. Kyle Etman, you jerk. Why do you keep coming to our house instead of yours? And why do you eat here instead of at your own house? Isn't that low? No, it's not like that. The only time I can be with Layla is when I come here, as an excuse to study together. Mister, I'll pay for the meal. Order anything. Really? Alright, mission 1. Get food materials for dinner. Cuckoo. Get lost. This guy can't even catch a chicken, he's just a useless good-for-nothing, like all of the Etman family. Mister. Ever since that day, Mr. Remmer never calls me by my name. Instead, he calls me good-for-nothing. Kyle, I like you, because you're that kind of person. You make fun of me, don't you? No, I'm serious. I want your hands to be used to save people, not to shoot. Don't you think that would be cooler? Should I be a military doctor? Would I get a medal as a military doctor? It's an amazing job, because it saves people. Surely they would give you one, right? Is that so? Is that Lady Herhard? No, maybe Lady Herhard. There's no way it's the Dowager since I heard she hates cars.
Why?
When cars combine beauty with technology geometrically. Talking about geometry again. Oh, right, the geometry notes I was going to show you. I think I left them at home. Really? Yeah, I think I left them on the desk. I'll go home and wait.
Come by for dinner.
Really? Yeah, I think I left it on the desk. I'll go home and wait. Come by when it's time for dinner. Make sure to bring the notes. Wait? Are you waiting for me, or for the notes? The notes. Isn't that obvious? Really? I'm disappointed. Anyway, I'll go home first, and then head over. It'll take some time to cook dinner, so take your time. Okay.
See you soon.
I wonder what I should cook for dinner. Hessen. Yes, master. Stop the car. Are you staying here? I'm going to walk around for a bit. Hessen, stop the car. Are you getting out here? I'll be walking around for a bit. Then I'll wait nearby. It's fine, I'll walk on my own. I wonder what happened. He arrived a week earlier than scheduled, so I barely managed to get the servants prepared. And now he suddenly wants to walk alone? Then I'll see you at the manor. Understood, master. Matthias, you should get engaged this summer. Yes, I've agreed to that. I discussed it with my mother. It's a reasonable expectation to marry at the right time and secure a successor. I believe Claudine would be the best match to take the Duchess seat. I've also accepted my grandmother's wishes. Claudine von Brandt has excellent lineage and is a suitable candidate for the title. I'll arrange everything with the Brandt family by the time you return to Arvis. Yes, let's proceed with that. This is the life I lead. I don't wish for anything or have desires. It's a perfect life, everything in perfect order. Things come so naturally that they become boring. In this life, I've become the perfect child, the perfect student, the perfect officer. Soon, I'll marry the perfect woman and become the perfect father, ensuring my family's strength as the head of the Herhard family, just like my grandfather and father did, and now it's my turn. Duke Herhard?
Huh.
That blonde hair. Could it be her? The girl the gardener took in for a while, the one who ran through the forest all day, burying dead birds. Layla Llewellyn. Is she still living on my estate? My apologies, Your Grace. Layla Llewellyn. I apologize, Your Grace. Note. After stepping on her coin in a previous chapter, Layla couldn't bear to look at his face and kept bowing whenever she encountered him. Layla Llewellyn. I'm talking to you. Yes, Your Grace. I'm listening. She kept bowing and not looking at him, which annoyed him. He stepped on her pen to make her look at him. When she did, he seemed pleased. Why did he do that? What was the point? Do the people know this? The perfect Duke. Everyone praises him. Doing something like this? Is he planning to walk slowly, like this all the way to the estate? I wish he would use his long legs to speed up. I can't just pass him. As time passes, the girl has grown up. She's no longer a little girl. That woman, Layla Llewellyn.